I think I can speak for the entire Star Wars community when I say that I am very, very excited for the Kenobi series coming to Disney+. The potential for some awesome storytelling is through the roof. With Ewan McGregor back to play Obi-Wan, you know you can't go wrong. His performance was arguably the best in the prequel trilogy. Deborah Chow is an unbelievable director, and if you are unsure how her style would translate into Star Wars, I can imagine your fears were snuffed out when she produced probably the best episodes of the first season of The Mandalorian. Even Ewan just recently said that he is more excited to be playing Obi-Wan again this time than he was before Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. And why wouldn't he be? This is going to be probably one of the deepest dives into a character that Star Wars has probably ever seen. However, I do think there's one thing that could potentially spoil what is bound to be another great Ewan McGregor performance.
Who's scruffy looking?
The last few months have been a whirlwind of rumors surrounding a lot of things Star Wars, but a lot of them concerning the Kenobi series. One that was just confirmed in a recent interview with Ewan McGregor was that this was going to be a limited run series with just one season. I think that's really good. I really don't think this needs to be 5 seasons of Obi-Wan looking over Luke. At some point that does get really boring. No, there is another thing that's really concerning to me about this series, and it hasn't been confirmed officially, but Hayden Christensen is rumored to be returning as Anakin Skywalker for this series. Now, clearly he isn't going to play Anakin because, well... So, why would Hayden come back to play a character that isn't going to be in the timeline? I'll tell you why. Flashbacks. And that's what I'm concerned about. Flashbacks. I don't mind a good flashback, but where you run into trouble is finding a flashback that is actually good. There are a few that have worked in Star Wars, but we'll get to those later. Let me say this, during the Kenobi series, I hope we spend a lot of time with Obi-Wan working through his daily struggles, coping with losing Anakin, struggling to come to terms with the loss of the Jedi Order, and maybe even being banned from the Lars homestead. But an overabundance of flashbacks takes away from the main narrative. They take away time with Obi-Wan to go explore something else, which is not why most of us will be watching in the first place. I want to see Obi-Wan work through his struggles in real time, right there on Tatooine. Everybody knows that tension makes really good storytelling, and if there is no tension in the scene, it keeps cutting back and forth between flashbacks, and the scene doesn't move forward, then suddenly we don't have a very good story. In order for flashbacks to work really good, they have to tell us something we don't already know about the character. Just like any part of storytelling, rehashing something for the sake of rehashing it is a waste of time and an insult to the audience. With such a limited amount of time in the Kenobi series, it's important that we get as much new content about Kenobi's time in exile that we can. Having Hayden Christensen back is amazing, and maybe having Ahsoka show up would be really cool too. And I definitely want to see Temuera Morrison back as Cody, but if you're going to show me them all in flashbacks just to explain that they were all friends, and then things went bad for Kenobi, and now he's depressed, I don't care. I already know that. Star Wars fans are always clamoring about having their intelligence insulted, and in this case, at least in my opinion, would be a very valid argument. Not to mention, Hayden Christensen and Temuera Morrison and whoever else they have rumored to be making an appearance deserves far more than just a few flashbacks. I think we can all agree on that. However, I don't think flashbacks don't work entirely. Clearly they do. In some cases, they are a very important part of storytelling, and they have worked in Star Wars before. The best Star Wars flashback also came in a Disney Plus series. Din Djarin's memories playing out over the course of the show are the perfect use of flashbacks. First, they're not crazy long. It's usually just short little parts. They also tell two very important parts of the story. why he doesn't trust droids, and how he was adopted into the Mandalorian culture. So I'm not saying that flashbacks can't work, but what I am saying is that too many, or having a story that's too reliant on flashbacks, isn't a good way to tell an important story. The balance between fan service, paying homage, and keeping the tension in the story very present is of the utmost importance. If they can do all of that, I have no doubt that the Kenobi series could be one of the best pieces of Star Wars media ever to be created. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.